Hey guys, this is gonna be coaching session number 2, and since we already established what deck lists to play and how important every single copy of each individual card in your deck list is, it's now time to look at some gameplay and talk about some matchups and the knowledge that you have to have going into specific matchups and fixing a little bit of your thought processes. So let's jump right into it. Okay, first of all, we're gonna flip the coin. Already very important. And right here we can now see that our opponent plays a water deck, and we already established that what decks to play, so the only thing you have to worry about when you see a water energy and your opponent plays a water deck is that Palkia Mana Fee. Obviously everything else here would be an instant free win. Now there's one more key information here, and that is that we flip the coin on heads. That means we're going first. That puts us in a detrimental disadvantage already, because if our opponent would now to start with that mana fee, we cannot KO this thing in time, and it will at least generate 4 energy for our opponent. That puts him in a tempo advantage +4, and we would never be able to come back for this. Still, our goal is, we know this because we have matchup knowledge, is that no matter what, we have to KO this mana fee as fast as possible. We have to keep the pressure on. So normally, we play Darkrai, so normally we would always start off with a Druddigon. That is the best case scenario for us by far. That's what we always want to start with. But now that we know, we play against the Palkia Mana Fee, because there's a water energy that we can see, right? We would normally now start with a Magnemite to immediately pressure that Mana Fee. We start with a Magnemite to pressure that Mana Fee, because Mana Fee has the lightning weakness, and we have to take care of it. But again, we can't do that because he will generate 4 energy no matter what anyways, because we go first. So we will start off with a Druddigon, even if we would happen to have that Magnemite in our starting hand. And you see, the match didn't even start. We just flipped the coin and we saw our opponent's what our opponent has as their energy, and there's already a lot of thought that we have to put in here, and we already have to know a lot of stuff about the matchup. I just explained everything, and that is what you have to focus yourself on. What is the enemy playing, and what is the enemy goal, and what can you do against this? And based on this information, based on that knowledge, you have to adjust your gameplay. And if you don't have that knowledge, or you don't know how to gain that knowledge, I cover everything just to watch my videos. That is very simple. Everyone can do that. So with all of that being said, let's roll the clip and see what actually is happening here. So will we face that Palkia Mana Fee, or let's see. Whatever happens. Let's roll the clip. And I can already tell you another thing. You see, I played a Druddigon, as I said. Now, weirdly enough, we for some reason face an Articuno. And again, let's go over all the information that we have right here. So first of all, there's a very important tip here, and that is that my opponent already made a mistake. Can you identify this mistake yourself? Okay, did you or did you not? That's the big question. So the mistake that he did was he mindlessly busted out all of his Pokemon and put 2 Pokemon on his bench just because he could, but there's no actual reason for it. Every card that you play you have to have a plan in mind, and there has to be a reason behind you actually playing that card. Now, why is this a mistake? Because I go first. That means I can play a supporter right now before he can do anything, and he wants to have that Articuno up in the active, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't have put it in the active. But since he put 2 Pokemon on his bench, I could now Sabrina him and force him to put something in the active that he doesn't want to have in the active. And you see, that is very, very unnecessary. He could have just prevented that scenario from happening by simply not putting his Pokemon on the bench. What are these Pokemon doing there anyways, There's no need for them to be there. So that is already a very, very important tip. You see, my bench is empty, even though I could have filled it. I have the Darkrai, I have the Magnemite and everything, I could also have put Pokemon on my bench, but since there is absolutely no reason for me to do that, I don't do that. But he did. I could now play Sabrina and force him to have something, to put something into the active that he doesn't want to have to be there. Already, he would be in a disadvantage now, and he would have already made a mistake. So keep that in mind, please, and never play any card if there's no reason to play that card. Okay? Let's continue.
Oh, this is Articuno.
Yeah, I'm wondering, why does it play Articuno? That should have been a mana fee. That is not optimal deck building, but it is actually alright. Yeah, I will go into more detail very, very soon. Just let's watch a little bit. This is live commentary. This is footage from my live stream.
If you do, then you don't play.
I gotta talk a little bit to my reviews. Yeah, the standard gameplay, like the Pokeball, you play the Professor Oak if you have to.
I don't need to show him any of my...
See, I already, here's my thought process. I don't need to show him anything. There's no reason to put anything on my bench. Not the Magnemite, not the Darkrai. Why? There's simply absolutely no reason, so I don't do it. So I don't run into this Sabrina shit. Now, you can, see, this is very, very important turn for him. Because now we know the reason why he started with Articuno and not with Palkia. And that is because he had a Misty. I don't actually think my opponent thought about this. He's just playing whatever, But yeah, let's pretend that was planned, actually, okay? So, he has to use this Sabrina right now on the Articuno. To gain the tempo advantage and attack me immediately and to pressure me as fast as he possibly can, because he can waste no time, as he knows he's playing against Darkrai, and you cannot give Darkrai time. You have to be really, really quick against him. Otherwise, this constant 20 damage that Darkrai will do every single turn will wither you down, and you have to be quick and fast to stop this. So he plays the Misty. Now there's very, very key. What he flips here is game deciding. So let's see what happens, and then let me explain more.
Oh, imagine he uses that on Articuno. Oh, that would be so funny.
See, right here. Now that he flipped tails, what does that mean for him? Okay, that means for him that his Articuno is now serving as just the wall and nothing else. Articuno will never see any energy attachment whatsoever. Every energy he attaches now goes to that Palkia. The tails flip right here from Misty renders Articuno 100% useless, except for him being now a wall to buy enough time for that Palkia to get ready and maybe set up that Vaporeon. So let's see what my opponent does, right? If he attaches an energy to Articuno, he already did a game-losing mistake because he wasted an entire turn for no reason and for no gain whatsoever. That is a detrimental mistake. Let's see what actually happens.
Okay.
Yeah, as I say, if he would have flipped heads, that would be an entirely different story. Then he could have used that Articuno to apply pressure and be really, really quick to stop that Darkrai, as I mentioned before. So, now that he flipped tails, I just explained what to do and what to not do, So, let's see what happens. Yeah, and there you go. See, this is already completely brain dead, He has no idea how to play this game. That was a detrimental mistake. He wasted an entire turn for nothing. That energy needed to go to Palkia, and that is key. Very, very, very important. Because, you know, you have to be aware of your win condition and what your key cards are. And your key cards and your win condition here in this Palkia Mana Fee deck is, surprise, surprise, Palkia. So you have to do everything you can to set that Palkia up. Again, if Misty would have flipped heads, that would be a little bit of a different story. But it flipped tails, so what you do is set up that Palkia as soon as you can. Attaching an energy to Articuno, what does that do? Next turn you attach another energy to deal 40 damage and take 20 back in return? That is way too slow. As I said, that Articuno just serves as a wall to buy time to set up that Palkia. And he doesn't know that, and he did a huge misplay, wasted an entire turn. You know, that is how to not play the game. Yeah, now I played a Darkrai onto my bench, because now I can attach an energy to him and use his ability. He now serves a purpose, you know. One turn before he didn't, now he does. That's why we play him, you see. Every card that we play has a purpose and a reason behind it, and that is key. Of course, now again, I could run into the Sabrina problem. He could Sabrina me, and then I would have a Darkrai in the active, which I don't want. He would eat that 40 damage for free, and I don't want that. So I have to have something on the bench to protect that. That is one reason why I play Magnemite. Another reason is that next turn I can evolve him to Magneton and, yeah, go on using his ability to provide him with the necessary energy. You know, so again, reasoning behind playing a card. Yeah, that is best case scenario here, because now I mentioned the Sabrina again one more time. Now I don't even have to protect my Darkrai with the Magnemite. I now have another Dradigon. So Sabrina is now no issue for me. My bench is safe. That Magnemite and the Darkrai is completely safe, and I'm free to set up now. That is the reason why I played Dradigon. He serves as a protection for my bench to not get into trouble in case my opponent plays that Sabrina. Yeah, as I said, I use my energy now to use Darkrai's ability. That's the whole purpose of my deck. You know, again, I play a Darkrai deck. The key card, my key win condition here is to use Darkrai's ability to maximum efficiency, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here. And yeah, again, not only every single card that you play, you only play it when there is a good reasoning behind it and a plan, but also the same goes with the energy attachment. You know, my opponent made a huge mistake by attaching that energy to Articuno, as I explained. I did not waste my energy. I use it for the exact purpose that my whole deck is based around, you know, so perfect. Let's see what my opponent plays here. Yeah, Napoleon doesn't do much. Okay, another energy to Articuno. I already explained why this is a huge mistake. What is that Articuno gonna do now? 40 damage to take 20 back. He's an EX, I'm not. He will, I mean, yeah, see? Now when he attacks, he eats 20 damage. Then he takes 20 damage again from the Darkrai, you know? And he's already in range for me to kill him with my 80 damage from the Darkrai that I have. I just need a leaf, which you saw I drew. So, yeah, and my opponent has to predict this, right? He has to be careful of that leaf. He knows Darkrai plays the leaf. He has to know that. So, yeah, he keeps attaching. He keeps doubling down on his mistake, and he still did not realize that it is not gonna work. But he does it anyways, you see? It's just a very, very bad player. Yeah, and of course he attaches. I mean, what else? He attacks. I mean, what else could he do? See? Now he's in kill range for my Darkrai. And there was absolutely no reason for him to put him there. You know?
Yeah,
There's
let him kill
he pretty much he has no way to come back from this anymore.
So yeah, whatever.
This is like his second or his third turn, and the Palkia that he needs to win the game is still empty. There's no energy on that. It's not even close to be set up. It's incredibly bad what he does. Yeah, you see, my Darkrai unfortunately only has 2 energy attached, otherwise I would have killed that Articuno instantly. So now what he needs to do here, very very important, is now he committed to that Articuno setup. So he now needs to attach a 3rd energy to that Articuno and attack, you know. Everything else would be completely useless. That way he spreads a little bit of damage around the field, maybe later has the Cyrus, and he gets rid of that Radigon. So let's see what he actually does though. I mean, that would still not be a good play, because my Darkrai would then get rid of that Articuno, and yeah, nothing else from him is set up, so I have free real estate, you know. He, as I said, he already lost the game, but he still has to play to his plan and make the best plays possible for him, obviously, and that is now kill that Radigon by attaching an energy to that Articuno and use Blizzard. If he now would be to not put another energy onto that Articuno, then yeah, he would need to ask himself, why did he even attach this to energy in the first place? Like, you know, there's no purpose in him in what he does. He's completely lost, you know. And yeah, I'm not showing this to you to blame this person or whatever. I'm just trying to help people out to get better at the game and explain them what they have to think about, you know. Again, every energy you attach, every card you play, you have to follow a plan, and everything you do has to have a purpose and makes sense, you know. You have to understand your deck and the matchup you are in and then act accordingly.
He doesn't retreat this Articuno with Leaf now.
He just loses. Yeah, this is of course true, and see, this is exactly what I meant. Now, he committed already to this Articuno, but the last step that he needed to make his investment, his commitment, at least somewhat a tiny little bit worth it, he goes a completely different way, and now, like 3 turns too late, he finally tries to set up that Palkia. Yeah, spoiler alert, that doesn't work anymore. It's way too late, you know. And you see, whatever, let's just keep rolling the clip. So what now? You can't attack, and now you can't attack anymore. That Articuno is then free real estate and is just gonna die for free. And he does. You know what he should have done? He needed to retreat that and give me his Palkia. Again, that wouldn't be a good play, but that's what he had to do. And let me explain why. Why should have he retreated that Articuno? Because he could set up that Palkia. Maybe he has to invest that 2 energy to retreat the Articuno. That is now, of course, very, very bad. But, yeah, the stake plays, of course, 2 leaf, because Articuno has 2 retreat costs, Vaporeon has 2 retreat costs, and Palkia has 2 retreat costs. So, yeah, the chances of him having that leaf at that point are pretty, pretty high. And, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So, yeah, he had pretty much no play, you know. Like, the best case would still be to retreat that Articuno, even if you lose the 2 water energy, because now that Articuno is just gonna die for nothing, and you don't want him to die, so the best play would have been to retreat it. But he decided to attack for no reason whatsoever. Didn't even kill that Radigon, so completely useless. you know. And that's what you have to think about. Even if you are in a bad position, still always try to make the best play and think about stuff, the most logical stuff. You don't want that Articuno to die. That's 2 points for me, for free, for no reason. You could have retreated it, you know. You have another wall on your bench with that Palkia. But yeah, whatever. You see, this is just a showcase as to how to not play the game and fix your thought process, or tell you how your thought process should be in a match. Now I retreat for free, and I kill this Articuno for free, and I don't have a single thing to worry about. Because that Palkia is not ready. The best case scenario for him here is to deal 30 damage to my Darkrai. Do I care about that? Not at all. Why would I? You know? Like, this deck is about wasting no energy whatsoever. Yeah, he just wasted 2 for free, like, for no reason. Absolutely, absolutely. Very weird. I'm very confused. Yeah, and yeah, he just conceded. Okay guys, that was just one match, and yeah, the video is already much longer than I would have expected. So I want to keep these coaching sessions short so that there's not too much information at once, you know, so people can actually gain that information and keep it, you know. If I overdo it, then yeah, it's not gonna work out that way. So I want to keep these videos as short as possible, and they are already much longer than than planned, you know. So I will cut it here. I hope that was a little bit interesting and fun. And if you like Pokemon TCG Pocket content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, have a great day, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.